Welcome, friends of Japanese art prints, for another edition of the video productions by the Artelino company. I'm Dieter, and today I want to talk about a Japanese painter. His name is Tsuguharu Fujita. You see him there in the background? And he was born in Tokyo, in Japan, in 1886. And passed away in 1968 in Zurich, in Switzerland, from cancer. And he had become very popular in France during the 1920s, but as a painter. So the question is, why am I presenting him here? Because we do not offer paintings, we offer art prints, primarily woodblock prints. Well, the explanation is quite simple. He made also prints, and also a few, and really awesome, and today very rare woodblock prints. And in the current auction, we have one of these rare woodblock prints, and I show you that one now. Okay. It's this one. Fantastic. Tsuguharu Fujita had studied Western-style painting at the renowned Tokyo Fine Arts School, today Tokyo University of Arts. However, in 1913, he went to Paris. And you must know, at that time, Paris was the Mecca of arts. It was really the center of the avant-garde art movements worldwide. And after Paris had become famous for Impressionism, at the time when Tsuguharu Fujita came to Paris, there were two other art movements dominating. One was Fauvism, Expressionism called in Germany, and the second was Cubism, The Japanese students, and there were many of them in Paris to study arts, they normally showed a very low profile. It's not the character of Japanese people to expose themselves. However, Tsuguharu Fujita, he was completely different. He had a very outgoing character, and therefore, very soon, he became part of this Montparnasse bohemian artist community circles, and he got to know Picasso, Matisse, Amadeo Modigliani, Georges Braque, Fernand Léger, and also others. But Tsuguharu Fujita never try to imitate or to integrate these Western trendy new art movements into his own art. Instead, he developed his own style, and that was rooted in Japanese arts, especially, in my opinion, in traditional Japanese printmaking. And with this very peculiar style, he soon, in the 1920s, became very popular, very well known, and also commercially successful in France. In 1933, he returned to Japan. And there he made, in my view, a mistake regarding the development of his commercial career. It was the beginning of World War II, and he became an official war artist. And he produced large-scale paintings glorifying the Japanese army, you can say propaganda paintings. And of course, after the end of World War II, Japan had lost. That became subject of heavy criticism. And of course, that also obstructed his possibilities for exhibitions and his commercial development as an artist. And therefore, after a short period in New York, he decided to return to France He did it in 1950. And in 1955, he even became a French citizen. And in 1959, he was awarded with the French Legion of Honor. In France, he was still popular and well respected. Artelino does not offer and sell paintings. We are specialized in Japanese art prints. And therefore, my friends, now let's talk a little bit about Tsuguharu Fujita as printmaker. Well known by him are some lithographs, etchings, and also a small number of woodblock prints. To my knowledge, not more than 3, 4, 5 different designs. And these woodblock prints were created in Tokyo by skilled artisans. Tsuguharu Fujita did not carve woodblock prints, yeah? And these woodblock prints are extremely rare today. Paintings by Tsuguharu Fujita achieve really several millions at auction houses like Sotheby's or Christie's. Millions in dollars or in pounds. Fortunately, woodblock prints, although they are very, very rare, they are still affordable. And in the current auction, we have this design. The title is Aru Onna in Japanese, and that means something like a certain woman. And it was consigned to us from the famous German Scheele collection, just like the one you saw before, showing the artist with the cat on the shoulder. Okay, available in the current auction. And if you want to know more about the artist, and especially about his woodblock prints, this is a little bit a tricky subject, I tell you, then go to our education section, and there you find a rather large article about the artist and his woodblock prints. And there you see only these two have been consigned to us during the last 25 years. This shows how rare they are. Well, enough for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you, of course, for our next video. Goodbye.